Hi guys, it's Gareth here. Today I just want to have a little rant and just about my experience. So I thought now's a good time to do this. A couple of comments once fueled me to do this video first of all and to achieve a lot more as a young entrepreneur. You get the odd comment here and there about oh, it's not possible to achieve that, or oh, where's he got his money from, or daddy's money, and all this bullshit. And it just frustrates me because people just can't comprehend and they can't realise what you can achieve, first of all online, second of all as a young person and someone that actually does some work rather than goes home every night and just watches Netflix and just chills out every night. And it just frustrates me that when people just look down on you, and it does fuel you, and I'm sure everyone's been there, and if you are successful, or if you've done okay, or if people have seen that you've got something that you shouldn't have, or they don't think you deserve it, and that's because they're very negative, and the world is super negative. Instant reaction is for them to think, oh, that's not yours, or you can't possibly do that as a young person. So I want to talk about the advantages of being young and the disadvantages, and also the advantages of being old and when that does help you. So if you're in, for example, social media, or if you're in online marketing, or if you're doing anything that people think that is a young man's game, when you're older and you're doing online marketing, for example, if you've been doing it for 10 years, or you're slightly out the game, and people think sometimes when they're hiring an agency or a consultant for digital marketing, they think, oh, he's a bit older, like he's been doing it for a long time, that he's going to be a lot better than when you're much younger. And I think most of you know that a couple of years under your belt, you really straight out the game, you understand what works because you've made it work, and you've achieved a lot because in that short space of time. So if you're doing SEO or PPC, you're so relevant compared to the people that have been doing it for 10 years, whereas the people, say a lawyer, or if you're working in finance, and that experience is super relevant, when someone's looking to hire you, being older is much more advantageous. So, for example, if you're a lawyer, as I said, if you're older, it does certainly help you get that deal. It certainly does help being older, but don't underestimate being young if you're in the digital space, and how that can really help you. So I've been to client pitches before, and when obviously we turn up, all my team are pretty young, and it certainly does help us close deals, but sometimes it does, people's mindset is wrong, and they think, okay, the next agency will come in, or the next consultant will come in, and then they think that they've got more experience, whereas, in the digital space, it's not that specifically relevant. Like that, you need to have 2 or 3 years behind you to be super relevant, and it is based on the results. Like if you look at some of the guys and people that have been doing digital marketing, and they just can get away with it. They can get away with being a digital marketer, and they haven't got case studies, etc. So yeah, this video is more about how being older can help and how being young can also help, but it depends on what industry you're in, whether you're online or whether you're service based, or but this, I'm just talking to the client end, and also in terms of your peers and what people think that you can achieve. So first of all, being young can really fuel your success, and people just can't get their head around how it's physically possible. But with the amount of stuff online and what you can achieve online, it is absolutely ridiculous. So being young can certainly help, and old can certainly help, but also both can have problems. And so hopefully that's sort of given you an insight into the lives of being old and being young.